Wisconsin Eye's coverage of Campaign 2014 is being brought to you by the Wisconsin Hospital Association. For over 90 years, a valued voice supporting Wisconsin hospitals in communities like yours.
Wisconsin Eye is at the Dodgeville City Hall, interviewing candidates in the 2014 elections. We're interviewing Dodgeville Mayor Todd Novak. He's a Republican. He's running in the 51st Assembly District. Mayor Novak, thanks for talking to Wisconsin Eye.
You're welcome.
Wisconsin Eye appreciates the support of the Wisconsin Hospital Association, which represents more than 130 hospitals and health systems, for making these candidate interviews possible. Mayor Novak, you hold a local office. Why did you decide to run for the Assembly? I know it's an open seat, but why?
Actually, it's because I've been mayor for 3 years now, and once I was elected mayor, I found out that I enjoy dealing with the public and enjoy the day-to-day issues of being mayor. And when the open seat came up, I thought that could be an extension of what I do now. I'm kind of a rare politician. I enjoy hearing complaints about potholes and things like that, and just helping people. And so I just decided to make the next step because to me it's always about the constituents, and I think that's important, and one of the reasons I wanted to do this. So
tell us about your business background prior to serving. Is mayor full-time or part-time?
Well, mayor, you know, in small-town mayors are, actually the city of Dodgeville doesn't have a city administrator manager. The mayor is it. So this is a part-time job, which is technically full-time. Prior to me being mayor, and while I was mayor, I've been associate and government editor at the Dodgeville Chronicle for 25 years. Okay. So I am now there a little bit, totally out of the news department, and just helping on some other things there. So that is my business background. I've covered the Dodgeville City Council, the Iowa County Board, and Iowa County government, state government, the court system for the last 25 years, and covered over 600 school board meetings, county board meetings. It's been an interesting
You've been mayor for 3 years.
Mayor for 3 years.
Then I have to ask you the first question, the legacy of Act 10.
Yes.
Good or bad on the city of Dodgeville? Would you have voted for it?
I would have supported Act 10. I was a little uneasy about the rollout. When I took over as mayor, I was the first mayor to deal with Act 10. The prior mayor, at the time, we had to do something. Act 10 saved the city of Dodgeville about 100 and some thousand the first year, just on benefits.
And had you not had that savings, would it have been layoffs or something? Cut in services?
I wouldn't say, it would have been a cut in services.
Cut in services.
Because with levy limits, our back to the wall, we had no room to move. So it did help. We made them, it was hard, but then we made employees part of the process. We brought them all in. They helped us write the employee manual. We were very good about it. They were very appreciative.
So you would have voted for Act 10? I
would have voted for Act 10.
Okay. And it allowed you to protect some city services?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, as a reporter, you've covered hundreds of school board meetings?
Hundreds of school board meetings.
So let's talk about K12 issues.
Okay.
The expansion of private school vouchers and choice. As you know, it went statewide,
right,
with an enrollment cap of 1,000. Mm-hmm. And we're not talking about these two large cities, Racine and Milwaukee, with that exception. If you're in the Assembly, what should be the future of choice and vouchers?
Well, I think that the choice and vouchers was meant for failing schools, and I think it's addressed that, and I think that's where it should be targeted to. So I think we need to be specific with the expansion of vouchers. Fortunately, in the 51st Assembly District, we have a very strong education system. We do not have failing schools out here. We have a great school systems across this district, so I personally would not support any expansion of that would harm our school system here. I think it needs to be targeted to where the schools are failing.
Would you keep the 1,000 limit outside those two urban cities?
I would have to study it more, but I would have to see the numbers of how it's working. I'd really want to dig into that, before I would say.
There's one other K12 issue that's being debated in the Capitol, Common Core standards. Do you support them?
Common Core standards, I believe that they should be used as a guideline for the standards of schools. But I do believe that there may be some tweaking that needs to be done because it needs to give the state and local schools control, more control on how it operates. For example, I cover the Dodgeville School District. They've spent several tens of thousands of dollars getting ready for Common Core and stuff like that. And I would hate to see them just totally thrown out because of the cost and staffing that they put into it. I think they should be tweaked for more state and local control and standards.
Okay, let's talk about health care. The federal government, as you know, told Wisconsin, if you expand your MA benefits, we'll pay the costs for at least the first few years. Governor Walker, leaders of the Assembly and Senate said, no thanks.
Right.
Wise or unwise decision?
I think that was a wise decision. You know, it's already been done, but you're already seeing, I think it's very important to cover people that need help. But you have to remember and look back, this program has already expanded hundreds of millions of dollars since its rollout. And, you know, it's kind of like, you know, the promise from the federal government, take this money and we'll give you more, and I've never seen that really follow through on many things. So I think it was a wise decision, but I'm very supportive of health care for people that really need health care, and we need to protect, you know, our seniors and people in need. So.
New subject, frac sand mining.
Mm-hmm.
Do state and do local governments have enough authority, or do they have too much authority to regulate frac sand mining?
I think there needs to be a fine balance there. Of course, you know, this is all kind of new. It's a natural resource, but with that natural resource brings jobs. So I think we need to balance employment issues and stuff. But as a mayor, I understand the local control issue. I think this is an issue that where the state and the townships and the municipalities need to work together to figure out a balance of the control. I think it should be a joint effort because I know there's some townships that have stricter rules than other townships. I think there needs to be a balance. But I do support the opportunity for more jobs and an expansion economy, but I think it's very important to protect our natural resources and the locals. Nobody knows better than that than the local boards about their own resources and natural resources.
Let's go back to the physical power of local governments like the city of Dodgeville. You mentioned the revenue controls. Is that too tight a clamp on city spending, or, as the governor says, we need those clamps on revenue controls on local municipalities to control property taxes? Where's the balance there, Mayor?
I think it can be tight, but I'm a firm believer there's always room to move and cut and everything. Actually, I think there should be some more flexibility to lower the caps, because there are many municipalities, and I talk to mayors and stuff across the city, where there are years where they can lower their go below the levy cap. However, the way the system's set up, if you lower your levy cap, you go down 1 year, you can't ever get that back. That's your new cap. And many municipalities levy to the limit when they don't really need to, just because if they don't, then their cap gets lowered. And I think there needs to be some flexibility actually to lower that cap so you don't get penalized, where the next year you can actually go up to the cap again if you need it, if you have a road project or a bad winter. You know, winters in Wisconsin, they'll kill a municipality's budget and worse than anything. So, but I think it is a great tool. If you have a responsible government, local government, you know, they're good. Over the years, as I've watched many municipalities, if they don't have a cap, they with the wrong elected officials, you have skyrocketing property taxes.
Two candidates for Attorney General say first offense drunken driving should be a crime. Your position?
I really need to study that more. I know the legislature has made some progress on that and has made some issues. I think that's really a tough issue, and I really, to be honest with you, don't know enough about it, but I'd have to look into it.
The raising of the minimum wage is being debated in Washington and Madison. Your position on that?
My position is minimum wage is a starting point. You know, you have people that are and younger people in college and there's a need for people in those jobs that pay minimum wage, but that should be a starting point, and it's an opportunity for the people to move up. So if you get the minimum wage up too high, it hurts the businesses, and I think it has consequences that hurt employment. I think the minimum wage should be set It's a starting point, gives people a bouncing board to move up, get themselves through college or whatever they're doing, go to the next job that pays more. That's what I believe on minimum wage.
You have a unique perspective on the same-sex marriage issue, sir.
Yes.
Do you want to explain? You would make some history. You're the first GOP candidate who's gay, correct?
I am the first openly gay Republican candidate for the Wisconsin State Legislature, yes.
Is your goal to make history, or
My goal is not to make history, and it wasn't even a thought when I decided to run for this, so it didn't even cross my mind. So,
well, you've got a partner for a number of years.
Yes, we've been together for 17 years.
Okay. In the wake of the ruling, are you considering applying for a marriage license, or just not an issue?
You know, that's a personal decision, and to be honest with you, I haven't even thought about it. That issue is not an issue as I'm on the campaign trail that people are talking about.
Okay.
So, you know, it's property taxes and education. So,
I understand.
So you know, that's where I'm at with that.
Is there any other issue that you're running on that I haven't asked about, sir?
No, you pretty much hit them all. And I'm a huge. To me, it's all about the constituents and addressing the people's needs, whether they vote for you or not. I think that's what's important about running for these jobs, is you need to listen to your local people.
And finally, because it's an open seat, the 51st has attracted a four-way
primary.
You're
yes.
one of four.
I'm one of four.
Any differences between you and your opponents in the primary that you want to highlight, sir?
I know all of my opponents, and they are very good people, and they're very nice people. We get along great. However, the difference is I'm the only one that has the background to move the next step. I'm the only one that's I'm the mayor of the second largest city in this district. I've got a $7 million budget, 130 employees I have to manage. I've got 25 years covering government, so I'm the only one that has the depth of experience in that. We all have our strong points, but I think my strongest points prepare me to serve in the legislature.
Thank you very much. Todd Novak of Dodgeville is a Republican running in the 51st Assembly District. The primary is August 12th. Mayor Novak, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You bet.